So on the same website, well, Play2Train.org, you would find that there's a video of somebody with smallpox lying on the bed, and you will actually see the skin condition changing on the after. Okay, so please check out this video at the end of the demo. I don't have time today to wear all the attachments and to go through the demonstration. But basically, what you would see is you would see the patient going through all the phases that's described on this poster here. You can see the various stages, how the disease progresses, and you can see the effect on the skin of the patient. That's again just to demonstrate, how deeply you want to go and do things. Next, we'll go to the surgery room, just as an example. I'm going to find the kit.
That's a video.
What? I can't hear
Do
you.
you have any questions?
He mentioned the smallpox.
Yeah, what?
Where you actually are able to watch the avatar itself, the smallpox changing on their body through different stages.
Can we see something
There's
like that?
there's a video we'll be able to watch.
Okay, because I can't connect what's going on to what he's saying as of yet. I can't see where this is really, how it can actually be used.
I actually couldn't hear the comments or the questions. I'm sorry about that.
She mentioned about making the connection between what she's being shown and how it can be used. There's some videos that we're going to pull up after he's shown us around.
Okay.
That I think is going to help a lot.
Okay, can you maybe repeat the questions that I can actually hear it, if it's possible?
Ramesh, she was mentioning how she's not making the connection to, this is a guest that we have in the room, and
Yep.
she's new to Second Life, and she's not making quite the connection of how you're using this for training with what you're showing us.
What you're saying while we're looking at the screen, I see very little connection other than we are in the place that you say we are, and then you talk about, well, we can use it for this or for that, but there's none of that going on in the screen.
We're going to show some of the videos also.
Yeah, one of the things is, well, can you just summarize in one question, in one sentence, because she's getting cut off. I mean, it's just unfortunate. I mean, I didn't get the question.
It's just making the connection between where we're at and what you're showing us and how it's being used, how you're using it.
Yeah. And she probably would want evaluation results in the journal paper.
We're going to try and help make that connection. When
Well, the thing is, the connection is, well, okay. I was just trying to show you the virtual environment, so that's the tool. Maybe in the future, when we have an exercise going on, we can have observers just watching and seeing how the students are interacting. One of the reasons why it's difficult for folks to make the connection is because there is no ongoing scenario that's happening, and the goal of the scenario is unknown, and maybe the experience of participating in tabletop exercises is minimal. So there are a lot of factors that's involved. So hopefully when you watch the videos that was filmed live, they are not machine animations, of stuff that was like, well, it's actually, they were filmed live. The students just logged in and took part in the scenario, and we captured it, and that's in the Seton Hall video, right? And for another example of a scenario, maybe the one that we are going to do in the realistic hospital, the Elks Rehab Hospital. There is a video of that too, and what you would see is the virtual hospital itself, and me going inside it and trying to show you the level of fidelity that we are trying to reproduce in the hospital. Okay, why are we using this hospital? It is for a specific scenario. It is an evacuation drill that the hospital has to do in practice without interrupting current ongoing activities in the hospital. Okay, so the folks from COF, which is similar to JCO, wanted the people from the hospital to actually do these exercises regularly in order to meet, the COF requirements. Whatever I don't know what COF stands for, but I know it deals with, a set of regulations that you have to follow in order to make sure that the security of patients, especially vulnerable patients, are taken care of, at least to a degree that is satisfactory to them. They need to see that you have a plan laid out and you have people who worked through the plan, either in a tabletop session, sitting around a desk with a PowerPoint slide, and hospital floor plans, trying to figure out which doors get blocked, there is a fire, and how to evacuate the building within this new configuration of access, or have people participate in a virtual environment and do the exercise inside the virtual world, and then you try to evaluate, how well they can actually do it. Of course, there's a lot of previous research about wayfinding and how in virtual worlds and how actually that impact activities in the real world, and they are, well, those are the things that we are going to do. That's another example. But if you really want to see exactly for a specific scenario what students did is to go and watch the set on hold video, and it's just a live capture of the event, and I didn't spend a lot of time talking about the goals of that course, but what I want to say maybe now is that the course itself was a risk communication course. And the students who participated in it, they had to understand the need for communicating, how to communicate under an incident command system, why it is important to have a protocol to follow in order to address a situation. Those are the motivating factors for the course itself. And the students were never exposed to the Second Life environment. They went in, were exposed to a terrorist act, or we don't even know what the source was, but there was an explosion in a restaurant. There were people on the floor, and the folks who were on the floor were actually virtual dummies. They were not after us because we needed to have a large number of injured people, and they could actually click on them and bring up vital stats, and they could, do a triage. But for that session, what you would see is, all the activities that took place from the event and how the students were actually communicating. It's just filming it as if there was somebody with a camera on scene and trying to film it. Of course, most of the research data came from the conversations that happened between the students. And I think, there is a slideshow that is also embedded on the Play2Train.org site, and you can actually see some of the conversations on that slideshow when Dr. Anne Hewitt tries to, was presenting this at the TCC 2008 conference. So that's what I think you could do. Let me see if I've got something else here to show. I'm not too sure.
Ramesh, we have a question.
Yeah. When you are done creating the virtual training in Second Life, can you play it outside of Second Life, and in what format do you export it?
I'm sorry, somebody will have to paraphrase the question. It's just, I think, because of the distance.
And actually, I think the answer is no. She was asking about what you create for training in Second Life if you're able to export that out to another format.
And
Am I right?
and play it outside of Second Life, like you are not in front of a computer and you want to show it. I mean, you are not in Second Life and you want to show it outside of Second Life. Is that at all possible as a movie or a training or?
The movie, yes.
Yeah. And what format do you use it as? Do you export it as?
Did you catch
Well,
that?
actually, the software that you use to capture the video is a separate software from Second Life. Even though Second Life also provides the facility to export anything that goes on as a movie, but you end up with very large, gigantic file sizes. So I don't use that. I use an application called Fraps, FRAPS. It's very cheap. And whenever I'm running the Second Life client, I have another machine running Fraps. Or I can also have Fraps running on the same machine but in the background and filming everything I want.
Okay.
And I just save it as a movie file.
When he
So
mentioned,
if that's your question, yes, anything that happens, anything that you see as a participant can be filmed.
Film from
within the environment itself. I mean, with a third-party tool, if you want, and you would see the proof when you watch the video.
we're going to watch the videos when he said too.
Right.
When he mentioned machinima, it's machine cinema. While these scenarios are actually going on, they're
Yeah.
filming it with the computer. This program that he mentioned,
Uh-huh.
Fraps, he uses that.
It's
Film
being
what they're
captured.
doing.
It's being captured
Exactly.
as a movie.
Yes, and we'll be able to show you some of those. In fact, some of those are even played in Second Life. They're also played on the web.
Okay.
A lot of them are out there. And we're going to watch some of those.
Okay,
after
now
this.
the inventory of your equipment, is it something that you build yourself and add to Second Life's basic elements, or is it all in Second Life available to use?
All right. So one of the things I like with this environment, as I said, which is different from others, is that it's not a static environment in the sense that all the content is there all the time, and you just need to have it's plastic. Let me explain what I mean by plastic. Whoever becomes an actor in Second Life has the possibility of creating their own content. Okay, so just imagine taking the 3D building tools that you already have outside, like 3D Studio Max, all the, AutoCAD and all that stuff.
Do you need a lot of that?
Traditionally used to create 3D content.
Do you
can
need?
actually create all your 3D content within the virtual environment itself.